Rural America. From it springs so much of what we cherish as a people, our natural resources, and many of our cultural traditions and core values. Rural communities can draw upon broad and deep assets that have enriched us all. Yet many rural communities face daunting challenges to their health and vitality and have yet to feel the uplift our economy has generated elsewhere.
We just kind of see RCCI as a catalyst for change.
The people of the RCCI, the Rural Community College Initiative, believe in rural America. The RCCI is a network of rural community college leadership teams committed to honest self-assessment and the highest goals and expectations for students, for the college itself, above all, for the community. Our goal is to build the region's economies and increase educational opportunity for everyone. RCCI is committed to economic development and improved access to education, inextricably linked to equity and excellence. The following program is part of a video and print toolkit series designed to communicate the mission and the method of the RCCI, using community colleges to transform rural economies and the prospects of their people. The computer and computerized tools. Almost every facet of our lives is affected by ever-advancing technology. Even the experts are working hard to map its explosive growth and the benefits to our lives and communities.
Bring it home a little bit, students.
Through distance learning, the internet, teleconferencing, technology is breaking down geographic and social boundaries.
Jan, how far are you? About 20 miles?
Changing the ways we communicate, learn, and do business. In rural areas, community colleges are often leaders in acquiring new technologies. The college is one of few institutions with the financial resources and technical staff to develop, maintain, and train people to use telecommunications and information systems.
Fort Peck, why don't you guys take out a piece of paper?
Distance learning is an increasingly popular strategy.
Distance learning provides a medium for education in the adult community that has enabled participation at much greater levels, particularly in rural areas where perhaps constituents don't have access to the providers, whether they're universities or community colleges. So if we can bring the learning to them in their place of contact, then we can present to them a learning opportunity that's going to enrich their lives and perhaps increase their economic viability.
But as you hold it for that 15 to 30 seconds.
Distance learning classrooms improve access, making more classes available to satellite campuses, high schools, and outlying communities. With planning, the same classrooms can be used for any number of video conferencing purposes, connecting to universities, state agencies, corporations, or anyone else with a similar facility.
Jan, you want to talk with them a little bit about the small business seminars that are going on Monday?
Offering even greater access and flexibility for students are online or internet-based courses. These require a computer, but not a classroom.
These are sometimes referred to as asynchronous types of learning, where the student and the instructor and the other students do not have to gather in any particular place at any particular time. The student basically can log on and can do work and complete coursework at their convenience.
Across America, over 1 million students are filling these virtual classrooms. A majority of the nation's accredited colleges and universities offer some form of asynchronous or anytime learning. In many ways, it's independent study dressed in a high-tech interactive suit. And while it lacks the face-to-face student-teacher relationship, it stretches the college's reach, adapting learning to the lives of those far from campus, or with jobs that prohibit them from committing to a class schedule. Internet courses and distance learning are powerful uses of technology, but ideally they are elements of an overall telecommunications strategy, not just for the college, but the region. Such a strategy involves creating a type of high-tech co-op composed of varying combinations of equipment, people, and function. Each region has different needs, so there's no set formula, but services offered range from staples like email and internet access to well-designed interfaces for communicating with government, education, healthcare, and community services, to creating websites that promote and market area businesses and the region itself, to teleconferencing facilities and shared access to specialized, expensive technology. The equipment and people behind such an effort often belong to different organizations and are in different places. The important thing is that they are united by the same goal: advancement of the community, using technology as a tool for regional development. Because of this, planning a telecommunications initiative should parallel regional planning, and good planning is inclusive. The RCCI suggests that the community college can play a leadership role in bringing all elements of the region together to focus on development goals and how technology can help reach those goals.
So one of the first things that a college needs to do is sit down with members of the community to really think about what are the applications along all lines, again, crossing from business to education to healthcare to government to the needs of students, etc., and look at the range of applications that might be developed, the technologies that might be needed, where those technologies perhaps can be shared in order to develop a comprehensive applications plan.
And communities should take note: applications first, electronics second.
One of the biggest problems and mistakes that are made, is made in communities that we've worked in and others, is that there is oftentimes a focus right up front on the technology, the tools, before the community really has an understanding of what it is they want to do.
Rural colleges have assisted in building funding partnerships, designing and implementing high-tech initiatives. Since education and training are primary uses, the college is often a logical choice for housing and maintaining equipment, and providing staff and training for its use. In some areas, the college has become the hub of an electronic network that belongs to the region.
Their monthly operational costs.
Integrating technology initiatives into regional development planning is ambitious work. There are a number of barriers and challenges to be expected. The most obvious is funding. Technology is expensive and needs periodic upgrading. This makes long-term planning all the more vital for sharing expenses and avoiding costly duplication of services. Other challenges include resistance from those who lack understanding about what this technology can do for their communities, or fear the loss of personal interactions and privacy. Getting towns and counties to work together in new ways around high-tech initiatives. Sorting through many technical issues, such as evaluating the telecommunications infrastructure, equipment compatibility and obsolescence, and steep learning curves. Redesigning educational classes and other services for effectiveness over data lines.
This directs camera and
I
audio.
bet this is on. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Now.
All right, down here.
A region should do its homework and visit other areas that have developed telecommunications strategies, and money is usually well spent on a good consultant. It's not easy and must be viewed as a long-term process, but rural communities that infuse technology into their development efforts will likely excel over those that don't.
Through the evolution of the information economy and the continued development of telecommunications, communities are being fundamentally reshaped. Communities that understand these changes and are able to take advantage of them are going to be able to survive and thrive, and in our minds, hopefully develop fairly diversified economies. Those that really don't understand these changes are going to have a very difficult time sustaining themselves.
This video profiles two colleges that are using technology for education, access, and community building. Southwest Texas Junior College began with plans to connect its main campus to 2 outreach centers through distance learning facilities. It has done much more. Haywood Community College in North Carolina designed and operates a technology center that conducts state-of-the-art research, while also partnering with others to improve the quality of life in a rural, mountainous region.
Southwest Texas Junior College serves the largest region of any community college in Texas, an area greater than Connecticut and Massachusetts combined, but with only 10 people per square mile, clustered around widely separated small towns. The school's main campus is in Uvalde, 80 miles from San Antonio. 2 outreach centers, each about an hour's drive from the main campus, are in the border towns of Del Rio and Eagle Pass. The junior college is the region's only post-secondary institution. The vast service area and low population density made linking the 3 campuses through distance learning classrooms a logical addition to the school's extensive access efforts.
Distance learning was something that we were all for because we have a strong history of accessibility, trying to make classes more accessible to everyone in our service area. If you look at our fleet, motor pool fleet, you'd probably see 50+ vehicles, including buses, vans, and cars, because we bring the students to the campus, but we also send the instructors to the outlying communities to teach a class anytime there's a demand.
We have 2 cameras that are remotely controlled, one on top of the monitors and one in the back of the room. Now people in Del Rio and Eagle Pass can complete their AA degree without having to come to Uvalde. In the past, we called these kids road scholars because they were on the road a whole lot. They could not get all their courses there, so they had to travel.
Is that a good investment?
We can see and talk to each other over our system, and we can deliver data. It's seamless. It's no longer Del Rio and Eagle Pass in Uvalde. It is Southwest Texas Junior College, wherever that is.
Es exclusivamente para ti, solamente para ti.
I was born and raised in Del Rio, Texas. My family are migrants. I say that they're really proud of me because I'm the first one to go to college out of my family. It's more convenient for me because I live here in town, so I don't have to be renting or anything. And I'm working here, so that also helps me as well. If this school was not here, I guess what I would do, I would probably move to San Antonio. My mom doesn't want me to be so far away.
For students like Norma Hernandez, the junior college's outreach center in Del Rio, with its distance learning classroom, allow more time for family and work, helping to ensure that education is not on the losing end of important decisions.
This is the first class that I take that is distant learning. At first I thought it would be kind of hard, but I'm getting used to it. It's like just being in a regular classroom, only you're seeing it on TV.
In addition to giving instructors and students more time in the classroom and less on the highway, distance learning facilities allow a wider range of courses to be offered at each site, often at more flexible hours. And the technology may reduce the need for additional faculty. But maintaining the student-teacher dynamic through television screens is a challenge, and instructors are usually the first to get an education.
In teaching distance education courses, I have found that students have been conditioned to be passive recipients of television. So the challenge is to keep it a truly interactive learning environment. I had to learn to respect what I would call the pregnant pause. When you ask a question, you have to wait for the student to formulate their answer and then come on across the screen.
Is that Rhonda that's answering?
Taking the distance out of distance learning involves cooperation between teacher and students. Everything from distributing handouts to supervising exams
Does anybody remember
to simply asking the class a question must be reconsidered. Southwest Texas realized that no matter how advanced the technology, people are the key.
The worst thing you can do is buy this stuff and spend a lot of money and not train your people how to utilize it. And I think that traditionally occurs more than we want to admit. What gets shortchanged is staff and faculty development.
Those successfully utilizing distance learning have found that care should be taken not to overload faculty. Since many classrooms can be connected to a single teacher, a school should pay attention to class size. Instructors should be given the time and training to learn the equipment and to adapt their courses into telecourses for distance learning. The more a college utilizes different technologies in the classroom, the more comfortable students and teachers become with them. The goal is always to enrich the teaching and learning experience.
To get that computer out, to understand that you have a new overhead projector now, and you can put media, and you can put videotape, and you can put all those things on a computer now, and you can build your curriculum on those kinds of things and bring them to your class. You can compete for the minds of those MTV-washed kids.
One of Southwest Texas Junior College's partners in designing their distance learning facilities is Texas A&M University. A&M supports many distance learning initiatives and operates the Center for Distance Learning Research. Much helpful information can be found on their website. The initial desire to bring more classes to more students through distance learning was a springboard, catapulting Southwest Texas Junior College into understanding the versatility and power of digital networks. Connecting the video classrooms also created connections for data, fax, and phone lines, making 3 campuses as one. This means cost-effective internet access, email for staff, faculty, and students, and no more long-distance charges for calls to the outreach centers. In the first year, these improvements saved the school over $25,000. But most importantly, the junior college had built the foundation for a regional telecommunications network. Strategically, the next step was to extend the network's reach into area high schools. All that was needed was a dose of collaboration and a few $100,000. Connecting the main campus with the outreach centers was an idea that grew out of the college's RCCI planning. RCCI funding and technical assistance helped the college lay the groundwork to obtain over $1 million in Title III funds for wiring Uvalde, Del Rio, and Eagle Pass. But more resources were needed. With research, it was learned that grants for technology and telecommunications initiatives were available from a variety of state and federal sources. With the goal of connecting the high schools, over 20 independent school districts from the 11-county region came together to work together.
We called everybody together and said, this money's going to be made available. Let's talk about this. How can we capitalize on this? So the first thing these districts decided was we need a grant writer. So we formed a consortium, they pooled their money, and we hired a grant writer to help each of them develop the first round of these telecommunication infrastructure funds that the state had allocated.
Shauna Dowell was hired to work with each school district. In an inspiring success story, close to $3 million was obtained over 3 years to wire the high schools for internet access and build distance learning classrooms. Classes are now shared between the junior college and the high schools and among the high schools.
So let's switch over to Mark McMullen.
Together, they call themselves the Southwest Texas Network Consortium.
The most important thing is getting started and catching your readers' attention. We discussed part of this.
Among other things, the network allows the small school districts, some with as few as 200 students, to share instructors and pool students so that upper level and special interest courses can be offered where once resources didn't permit. The rooms are also used to tap into the Trans-Texas Video Network, which provides faculty and staff development courses for junior college and high school personnel. But most impressively, the Network Consortium isn't just connecting the schools, it's connecting communities. Distance learning classrooms become video conferencing sites, facilitating collaborations that in the past were hampered by great distances and a competitive town versus town or county versus county mentality.
We want to use this infrastructure to link communities, not just through the schools, but to link municipalities, to link healthcare agencies, so that we can share resources. Resources meaning personnel, resources meaning ideas. We're doing that. We got people chomping at the bit saying, when am I going to get to hook up to that?
Within 5 years of starting its telecommunications planning, the vast region will have hospitals, libraries, elementary and junior high schools online. Each video conferencing site represents a local hub around which people can come together and plan a better future for the region and connect to a greater world of information and services.
Certainly we have access to the world via the internet. What I want to see happen is I want to see Southwest Texas go to the world. I want to see Asherton, Texas, their culture and their richness, and those kids be able to, I want someone in Japan to be able to experience Asherton, Texas. And that really excites me.
In partnership with others, Southwest Texas Junior College is using readily available technology as a teaching tool and for improving communication in a vast region. At Haywood Community College, cutting-edge research and community partnerships help to improve education and access, build the workforce, and advance the economy.
Haywood Community College is in the mountains of western North Carolina. The region is known for its natural beauty, and much of the economy is based on tourism and the production and sales of mountain crafts like pottery and weaving. Logically, the college offers excellent programs in natural resource management and crafts production and marketing. But in addition to the looms and kilns at Haywood, one can also find virtual reality laboratories, cutting-edge laser technology, and engineers being trained to work with NASA.
How's the picture coming down, Kevin?
The Regional High Technology Center at Haywood is part of a national network of high technology centers and has been recognized as one of the best. Telecommunications tools play a vital role in helping the center carry out its broad mission of using innovation, technology, and learning to improve people's lives. The center's focuses include industrial learning and workforce development, two-year degree programs in manufacturing and electronics engineering, research in virtual reality and laser technologies, technology transfer, and importantly, service to the region. One way the center helps to advance its communities is by providing internet access, email, and a number of advanced telecommunications services to Haywood faculty and students, the public schools, the county hospital, local government, and other agencies. Through these services, Haywood's High-Tech Center is becoming a hub of shared telecommunications resources, helping to better connect the region and overcome geographic isolation from metropolitan centers of education and government.
We have 2 satellite dishes, one that we can receive general courses and information that are beamed in from various organizations across the country and the world. And many times we will advertise those and bring people in and do specialty programs that are beamed in from other sites. We also have an agreement with the local regional medical center. They've set up their satellite dish here, and they come over for all of their continuing ed needs that are provided via their satellite system. And so that builds another relationship and partnership with the community, and I think that's important for us to continually be building those, and technology is one way that we can do it.
One important community partnership the High-Tech Center participates in is the Haywood Information Technology Infrastructure Team, known as HITIT. A nonprofit corporation, HITIT's goal is to ensure access to information and technology for the region, and through this access, to improve lifelong education, promote community cooperation, and expand economic development opportunities. HITIT's membership is broad-based, with representatives from county government, the business community, public schools, libraries, healthcare, and other agencies interested in the economic well-being and quality of life in the region. HITIT's work has many facets. Their first initiative was to secure funding for a video conferencing and distance learning facility connected to the North Carolina Information Highway. Located in the High-Tech Center, the room is open to the public and linked to over 100 similar sites across the state.
The Information Highway room that's located here at the High Technology Center, it's actually a resource that's shared between us and all of these agencies that formed HITIT. Some of these agencies will come into the building and they'll have meetings with their counterparts on the other end of the state. They'll have various types of activities conducted over the Information Highway room.
These activities include teleconferences between state and local officials, continuing education and professional development telecourses for educators, and a number of distance learning classes for community college and high school students. Working as part of HIT IT, the college helps manage this popular resource.
Scheduling is something that has to be conducted. That's another challenge. Of course, the decision has to be made is who is going to do the scheduling, who is going to maintain the technical aspects of the system. There's a number of human resource issues that have to be addressed anytime a college decides to go into this type of activity.
A focus for HIT IT is helping area communities develop telecommunication goals, then tying those goals into a regional plan. To this end, the Haywood County Community Network was created. Organized by HIT IT, this comprehensive website connects users with county services, community information, and businesses, encouraging the region to act more as an integrated community. The network helps residents and visitors meet their information and service needs at one location. HIT IT funded web page development for many nonprofit and public service organizations and provides guidelines for web materials that ensure high quality and a consistent message for building and promoting Haywood County. As a partner in HIT IT, Haywood Community College through the High Tech Center is helping to build the regional telecommunications infrastructure. In addition to engaging the community, another exciting facet of the Regional High Technology Center's work involves developing curricula. These courses make use of the internet and virtual reality and will be shared with colleges around the country.
The software that we are currently working on is a safety training package that will be used by nursing students who are studying community health. So we're creating simulated three-dimensional worlds that are actually houses, complete houses inside and out, that the nursing students step into, and they look for things like throw rugs that can be a hazard for someone in a walker, or frayed electrical cords, or look for things stored in cabinets that are beyond the reach of a person bound to a wheelchair.
Also, through its involvement as a partner in the Manufacturing Workforce Collaborative, the High Tech Center is helping to develop a computer-based national manufacturing curriculum. Funded by the Lucent Technologies Foundation, the curriculum will be available over the internet to instructors at community colleges to help them respond to the needs of regional manufacturing firms. The focus is on core competencies needed by frontline workers in any manufacturing setting, especially as those settings continue to change under the influences of technology, customization, and globalization.
The needs for frontline workers are going to be changing more and more as time goes along. What we really want to hire is a mind and the innovative thinking process that each human being has. The programs that we hope to see in the future will teach people how to learn, teach people to think critically, teach people to look at the big picture instead of just their small part of that picture, and to be able to work with other people in a collaborative fashion such that they strengthen themselves and strengthen the organization.
Involvement in programs such as the Workforce Collaborative allows the High Tech Center to bring innovative ideas to Haywood County.
What we can do then is take this and apply it to our local workforce so that we here can be more competitive and hopefully develop our region economically.
With its High Tech Center, Haywood strives to come closer to the cutting edge of technology than most community colleges. Its special designation allows it unique access to resources for experimentation and curriculum development that will benefit other schools in the future.
One thing about technologies that are on the edge is that eventually they make their way into the mainstream. So by preparing, by looking towards the cutting edge, a community college can take steps to be prepared for what is out of reach today, but tomorrow will be sitting on their doorstep.
I can control the 3 cameras that are in this room. I've got the teacher camera that was on me. This is the student camera, and this is our overhead.
Advanced telecommunications systems are helping rural areas overcome barriers separating them from urban centers of education and commerce, without destroying the amenities of rural life. These high-tech tools can both facilitate the development process and serve as assets the region can promote. Indeed, the information age may prove to be a boon for rural America.
Rural communities and rural life, in fact, is even becoming perhaps more important in our country, as for the first time, work is really being able to be moved to people as opposed to people to work. And because of some of the problems that we're all aware of in our cities, and again, the opportunities that are being made available through information and telecommunications, more and more companies are now finding themselves attracted to areas outside of the major urban centers, and again, for the first time, they can really do work, many companies, any place, any time.
It's not only just the business instructors, but
in many cases, the work of designing a regional telecommunications initiative serves as a springboard for bringing communities together on education and economic development strategies. Much RCCI work can be greatly facilitated by technology and electronic networks. Many rural community colleges are providing leadership for regional telecommunications strategies, helping to define applications, researching technical options, educating and training the public, and providing facilities and maintenance. For both Southwest Texas Junior College and Haywood Community College, new technologies have improved communication within the institutions themselves and also expanded the regional reach of each school's education and community services.
You value answer for credit cards.
The new technologies also required the faculty, students, and staff of both colleges to rethink teaching and learning strategies and methods, modify administrative and support services, discuss new issues from personnel and funding policies to accreditation standards and state requirements for courses delivered through non-conventional modes. The experience of both colleges suggests that as new technologies emerge, educational service providers must understand and target student needs more decisively, plan more extensively, and form partnerships and collaborative efforts that seek to lift opportunities for all. Finally, much technology that is considered cutting edge today will eventually be as commonplace as the TV or telephone. The real challenge for a region will always be the ongoing process of bringing its people together to create stronger communities.
Pull all these groups together to have one network that would serve multiple needs. That was the goal from the very beginning.